What if the story of Momotaro is a story of collecting human fault? Once upon a time, there were an old man and an old woman. One day, the old man went to the mountain to cut grass, while the old woman went to the stream to wash some clothes. The old woman noticed something floating down from upstream. "Oh dear, what on earth is it?" The old woman looked at it carefully. To her great surprise, it was a giant peach. The old woman tried to pick it up and stretched her arms toward it. However, the peach bumped against a rock and changed its course, so the old woman failed to get it. The giant peach kept floating down the stream and got out of sight. Soon the peach floated into the ocean, tossed by waves, and washed up on an island. Yes, it was the island called Onigashima, where the ogres were living. Taking a walk along the shore, the old female ogre found the giant peach and took it back home. The old female ogre and her old husband gave the peach a hit with an iron rod. Then the peach cast light and split into two. To their great surprise, a healthy baby boy came out of the peach. The old ogre couple, who had no child, was very delighted. "This baby boy must be a gift from heaven." They named the baby Tokiro. That meant the son of Peach and an ogre. Thanks to the ogre's couple's care, Tokiro grew to be healthy and strong. One day, the old female ogre came back from her walk along the shore as usual. She, however, was low in spirit that day. "What's the matter with you?" asked the old male ogre. "Well, recently a lot of trash has drifted ashore. The trash seemed to have been drifted from Ningen-jima, over there, on which human beings are living. Now, fish are dead, and the color of the ocean has changed. Everything looks terrible. If we neglect this condition, we may be in danger of losing even our lives." Hearing this, Tokiro stood up and said, "I will go and punish the humans." A few days later, Tokiro was leaving for Ningen-jima. The old female ogre had given Tokiro some mud dumplings. The old male and female ogres saw Tokiro off anxiously. As Tokiro was heading for Ningen-jima, he met a poisonous snake. "Hi, where are you going?" asked the poisonous snake. "I'm going to Ningen-jima to punish the humans," replied Tokiro. Then the poisonous snake said, "Will you give me one of the mud dumplings you have at your side? Then I will accompany you." Tokiro took a mud dumpling out of his bag at his side and gave it to the snake. The two set off for Ningen-jima. Before long, they met a blood-sucking bat. "Hey, if you give me one of the mud dumplings, I will do anything for you," said the blood-sucking bat. Without hesitation, Tokiro gave the bat a dumpling and said, "We are going to Ningen-jima to punish the humans. Please come with us." Then the three started walking together. Soon, a venomous spider came down from above spinning spider silk. "Hey, you guys look fun. Where are you going?" asked the spider. When Tokiro explained the situation to the spider, it said, "Okay, I will also accompany you if you give me a mud dumpling. The spider joined Tokiro. The four hurried to Ningenjima together. In time, they reached the seashore of Onigashima. Seeing the dirty seashore and the ocean, they said in chorus, "We cannot forgive the humans. They've contaminated the ocean, which used to be very beautiful." They collected the trash, plastic bottles, styrofoam, and tires, which were scattered all over the shore, and made them into a raft. Now it was the time for them to sail for Ningenjima. Reaching Ningenjima, the humans were very surprised and made a racket. "Oh no, an ogre's here! Help me! There comes an ogre! Oh boy, an ogre! That's a poisonous snake! Oh my goodness, a blood-sucking bat too! A venomous spider!" They cried and made a fuss. Some of the humans even threw stones at them. Tokiro swung up his iron rod and shouted at the humans, "Listen, you humans! Why are you contaminating the beautiful ocean? Because of your irresponsible deed, the sea creatures died, and the beautiful blue ocean has turned into murky black. Our lives have also been in dangerous situation. You humans have been doing just as you want without realizing you have been kept alive thanks to the environment and nature." The four made a rumpus, blaming the humans loudly. The humans ran away hurriedly in dismay. Tokiro and three creatures succeeded in punishing the humans and returned to Onigashima. A few days later, the old female ogre came back from her daily walk. She looked very happy with a smile. Tokiro and the old male ogre asked her in chorus, "What happened to you? These days the ocean has become cleaner, and here you are." She handed a bottle to them. In the bottle was a letter. It said, "Dear everyone in Onigashima, we humans have been living just as we liked, without care or thought for other creatures and nature. We have thought that it was okay as long as we were happy, and that we had no connection with nature and our environment. We had not noticed that there were creatures suffering from our irresponsible deed under the surface. We had believed that we were living by ourselves. However, we realized we are kept alive thanks to the environment and nature. We are so sorry. From now on, we will act with consideration for our environment, under the surface, and the future. Thank you so much, ogres." When Tokiro finished reading the letter, tears of joy formed in his eyes. The ogre's eyes were also filled with tears, and they lived happily ever after. The end.